You are now tuned in to DAR Sports Media, the college football show. We are in here. We said it was going to be a huge week a couple weeks ago, and college football does what it does. Already topping it, already exceeding the great week that we had a couple weeks ago with a fucking loaded week of college football coming up this weekend. But first and foremost, we got to go over what all stood out to people last weekend, man. Our main topic of discussion last week, the Oregon-Ohio State showdown. Man, oh man, Will Howard going out there doing his best Dak Prescott impression, except for when it happens to the Cowboys, it's fucking hilarious and awesome and good, and it makes everyone happy. When it happens to a college kid, that was a little bit more unfortunate. Got to get it figured out, man. Oregon gets the win. Fantastic game. What were your thoughts there, Lee Harvey, the Buckeye captain?
Oh man, it was a great game, but I didn't think that Oregon's offense would just cut through that Ohio State defense like a knife on butter. Like that was crazy to me. We Ohio State moved the ball well until they just. There was a couple plays that stood out to me. It was one where Judkins got the ball ripped out from him. I don't know if you remember that play.
Yep.
And there was another play where Henderson, it looked like if he just ran forward, if he just dove forward, he'd get a first down on 3rd and short. Instead, he was still trying to juke people and got tripped up, and then to get the first down, they had to punt. Those two plays, other than the Will Howard play, of course, that stood out to me the most on why Ohio State ended up losing on Saturday.
Tay, on the other side of things, what was your thoughts on the game?
It was definitely a great game. It went the way I thought it was. And if I was an Ohio State fan, I wouldn't worry. Like, Ohio State played they played a good game. Like, yeah, the defense didn't really show up, but I mean, it was Oregon's offense, so I would give them the pass there. Like, I would say this is an even matchup. Like, this is the Big Ten championship preview. This game is gonna happen again in a few weeks, so like it can go the other way. Like, it took a penalty at the end of the game, like this. A miscue with the quarterback scrambling, which was a great play, honestly. Like that, he got the yards, but obviously it was not enough time. But yeah, I wouldn't panic if I was an Ohio State fan. And I say for Oregon side, Oregon put people on notice. Like, I know a lot of people had Oregon on fraud watch because earlier in the season, they were struggling against lesser teams and whatnot. But yeah, I think Oregon quieted the noise and showed everyone they do belong in the top
and
5.
It turns out some of those lesser teams might not be so lesser. Idaho's
Oh,
looking
yeah,
real
that's
strong
true.
on the Division II level. Boise State's looking like a potential playoff team with the Heisman Trophy winner in their backfield. So
Yeah,
those lesser teams ended up not being so lesser.
right.
True, what stood out to you this weekend?
A couple games. I thought that LSU Ole Miss game was really exciting. Definitely got like you guys talking about the Ohio State Oregon game. I think you could take a lot away from that game. I think both teams should come out of that game feeling. I mean, obviously Oregon's going to feel good because they won, but I think Ohio State has nothing to be ashamed of. They fought in that game, and that's a clash of the Titans. Anytime you get two of the top ranked teams in the entire entire league going at it, somebody's got to lose that one. And the way it went, man, I'm not gonna lie, it was went exactly how I think it would have went in the first place. But I was, like I said, I was happy to see the game play out the way it did. Same thing, like I said, for I think Ole Miss and LSU. And I think we're going to get more of it this coming week. I think this coming week here, we got a lot of great matchups too. So I'm looking forward to this coming week, just this next week. Really, really, for one particular game, for sure. Another ranked battle. So I think those two games were the highlight, and of course, my guy in Boise State, they made quick work of Hawaii. That was light work, very light work. So yeah, man, I think those are the things that stood out to me the most this week. But it just looks like we're gonna keep rolling. We right in the thick of things now with college football and these games. These games, man, they getting there.
Yeah. Axe was to the father, the patriarch of the college football show on DAR. What do you think? What was your what stood out to you this past weekend?
Bama in a battle with South Carolina. I think that stood out. They're definitely in trouble against Tennessee.
Like so, well, Tennessee hasn't really been themselves lately either.
That's true, but like Bama, I don't know. Kalen DeBoer got to get it together, man. Like Bomani Jones says, they ain't used to them 9-3 type seasons. So him inheriting what Nick Saban had coming through, and they look a little shaky, man. They look like they're going to take another loss. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with their performance against South Carolina. Another game that stood out to me was Penn State and USC, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was pulling for USC to win it, but Lincoln Riley, he ain't got them big wins at USC, man. Like something.
Yeah, he really hasn't.
He's gonna have to start getting some big wins soon. They don't play that. They're gonna lose patience with that man soon. Like True said, Ole Miss, LSU, and of course Ohio State, Oregon. That game was elite, man. The back and forth. Dylan Gabriel had a great drive at the end too. Like I had texted Tay, I was like, "Hey man, like Gabriel put together a hell of a drive.
Yeah,
that's what y'all paid for. Like that's what y'all paid for real." And Colorado, Kansas State was pretty good. I didn't catch the entirety of it, but
they were hanging in there all the way to the end, man. It was so close yet so far for the Colorado Deons.
So it's been a good week and a good year. Like I say in the chat, this is pretty similar to 2009 when there was so much parity. You didn't know who the top 5 teams were. It was always fluid. You had them teams that were surprising, came out of nowhere. So this is one of the best college seasons in a long time, in my opinion.
One of the things that interests me the most about the Colorado thing is what's it going to look like next year? You got your Heisman wide receiver, two-way guy. You got your top 15 draft pick quarterback. What's it going to look like next year?
That's a great point.
Interesting.
I see some of the guys, they come in, they feel like they don't get the attention they deserve, and they want to transfer. That's what Dylan Edwards did. We went to Kansas State.
Yeah.
Because he was a highly talented recruit. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see. Like, we want to see if Deion can really develop another quarterback outside of Shador. Or is he going to follow them into becoming an agent in the NFL?
Yeah.
Like, it just looked like a move that he's going to do. I don't see him staying in Colorado another 2 years. I don't see it, but we'll see. I hope he does.
So jumping into next week before we get into all the big matchups, I wanted to ask a little question over there to Tay, man. One of the things coming over to the Big Ten, and actually I'm sure Lee has some insight on this, and Axe probably too. One of the things coming over to the Big Ten is pretty much every year, at least one team goes into Purdue for a random night game and gets their season fucked up. And so do you have any concerns, Tay, about an emotional letdown heading into Purdue, a Friday night game? What do you think?
No. I don't think Purdue. How can I put it?
They almost beat Illinois, right?
What did you say?
Didn't they almost beat Illinois like last week?
Yeah, 50-49 in overtime.
They're not going to beat the Oregon Ducks. I don't care if they almost beat I don't care.
Yo, this year's been unpredictable, brother. I mean, I understand you riding high. Y'all had a great win.
Yes.
I know Florida State didn't turn out this year. I know, how many wins I got? 2. It's not.
Whoa.
This is the number 2 team.
Like, we ain't got nothing to do. I'm
We're gonna
talking about
go
the teams
on
in the
their home
top five.
field,
This is switching
give
like
them
all week.
50, and
Like,
then
not
walk
just
out.
Ole
ask-
Miss. Like,
you
mention
can
that, bro.
ask.
Like, don't go straight to us.
You can ask Lee. You can ask Lee Harvey. You think it's sweet, and you show up, and they got some sick kid on the sideline in a blanket, and your season is getting Rondell Moore's out there doing crazy shit, and the next thing you know, your season is fucking ruined. I know you remember the game I'm talking about. It was right at this time, right around this time of year when that happened. It happens to a Big Ten team every year, man. I'm glad that you're feeling good, though. What do you think, Lee Harvey? You think there's any chance that Purdue pulls a Purdue tomorrow night?
Yeah, and I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can see something of a letdown maybe in the first half, and maybe Oregon will pull away later on. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they end up playing a new quarterback after the Hudson Card experience didn't work. His name's Ryan Brown. He had like over 280 passing, over 100 rushing. Gave that offense a spark. So who knows? But I do want to say there was, remember in June or July, that Oregon mascot was on social media taking pictures of "Let me in." He was in front of the Purdue. Um, he was in front of their stadium saying "Let me in," and they were all saying, "Hey man, you don't want to go in there when it's night, when it's at night." And we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow.
yes, sir.
I can't believe that.
So
I can't believe that.
okay,
A 1 in
you
5 team.
you're new to this Big Ten life. I'm telling you right now, it
Yeah,
happens
he
every
is new.
year.
They suck.
He
They're
is
gonna
new.
get steamrolled. I'm not. The game's gonna be over at halftime. There's no way. 115% sure. Like they don't belong in the same. They don't belong. I want
you're
in the
right.
group chat during the game. I want y'all to say, "Yeah, you was right. This Purdue team does not belong on the same field as or." I guarantee it.
I'll give you credit if it happens.
Okay, it's gonna happen. I'll be there. I'll be there. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
They don't.
yeah.
They suck. I'm not gonna lie. They're not. That's come on, man.
Are the big matchups? You got, man, it's just stacked. You got third Saturday in October, the old rivalry, Alabama, number 7 Alabama at number 11 Tennessee. You got number 24 Michigan at number 22 Illinois. Another interesting one, Eastern Carolina at number 23 Army and Navy, both ranked. Fucking finally, bunch of fucking pussies. It took this long to rank them. Goddamn right. But does the magic run out this weekend? Because ECU keeps a pretty good squad. Well, not a pretty good squad, but the cupboard is never bare at ECU. So this will be probably the biggest challenge of Army season so far. You got number 12 Notre Dame going down to a scrappy Georgia Tech team. We all remember that, right? Don't we, Axe? Just a little shot. And of course, number 1 Texas against number 5 Georgia. Also, Colorado is traveling to Arizona this week. Interesting matchup there. So much. We're so stacked this weekend. What are you looking forward to the most, Tay? What will you use to feel better about the weekend after Oregon gets stunned by Purdue on Friday night? What are you looking forward to the most on Saturday?
Alabama, Tennessee, due to the fact that Tennessee, that high-powered offense hasn't been high-powered the past few weeks, but I think I got Tennessee winning the game. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. I got a good feeling.
Whichever one of those teams lose that game, they're in the fucking danger zone.
They are. They're gonna. But if I think Alabama could lose, they'll put them in. Like, they're gonna put them at like 14 or something, and they'll come back.
What I've noticed about this is people, said that it would make things less interesting as far as the race or the regular season, but it's actually added more spice to more games because now more teams have a chance of possibly making it in. So the games continue to matter for longer. Usually it used to be one loss. Well, you don't need to fucking pay attention to them anymore. Now you still have more games that could end up figuring in at the end of the season. So that's exciting. Like this game right here wouldn't have the same weight on it in the former system as it does right now. Whichever one of those teams loses, they're in big danger. True. What about you, man?
Pretty much. I'd have to agree with Tay on the Bama and Tennessee game. I think there's going to be a real test for both of these teams. I think Tennessee's is hot right now. Obviously, Bama's always Bama. I think that's going to be the game to watch for. Obviously, Georgia and Texas is the premier matchup of the week. Against my will, I'll say it'll be interesting. I think Texas might be finding a way to squill by there, but I think that's going to be the game to watch. I think, like I said, anytime you get these high ranked teams going against each other, you can usually expect high quality football. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these teams match up. But the Bama and Tennessee one for sure. Georgia and Texas, I know that's just going to be a game where if you can get to a bar and watch it with some folks and stuff like that. That's one of those games. Same thing with Bama and Tennessee. You can get somewhere and watch it amongst a group of folks, especially some Bama fans. Don't watch it with Tennessee fans. Stay far away from wherever Cam is watching this game. But for Bama and Tennessee, you can find some Roll Tide fans anywhere you go, which is
That's right.
kind of like the Yankees and the and the Cowboys. We ain't gonna go into that, but man, I think that's gonna be the two games to watch. A couple other games, catch my eye too, but those two are the main ones that really stand out to me, and I think these are gonna be the games, man.
Sorry, we got the whole group got BC and Virginia Tech on in the background, and that was a nasty little back pass to the halfback out of the backfield. They are slapping those cheeks, making them red against Virginia Tech. Told BC, move your hand, cheeks. Move your fucking hand, move your hand. Axe, what are you looking forward to this weekend? I do agree, though. That Texas Georgia matchup. This is like the real entry for Texas, like SEC time. Like, what do you really got? You're gonna take the crown away from the champ. Let's see. What do you got there, Axe?
Definitely that game. I got Texas winning, especially if Quinn Ewers plays. I just think he's at a high level. Haven't really been that impressed with Georgia like the past couple years. Their defense hasn't been as strong. Like giving up 31 points to Mississippi State, that was pretty surprising. So I'm gonna roll with Texas on that. I'm gonna check out Illinois and Michigan. Michigan's kind of rough to watch this year. They're both ranked, but I'm not gonna be tuned in because they're kind of boring to watch.
No kidding.
Yeah,
and that's another one. If Michigan loses, that's pretty much a wrap for them.
Thanks. Now a sneaky good game because I'm not I understand they're undefeated, but they done had two close calls the past two games. Miami and Louisville.
Yes, sir. I was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good 12 o'clock game, too. Them 12 o'clock games be a little shaky sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. That's a really good way to start things off on Saturday. Absolutely.
Yeah, I got Miami on upset alert. I think Louisville could pull it off.
Especially after the last few weeks of the Miami, man. They just surviving week after week.
Yeah, they're 6, but I'm not moved. And also, Arkansas LSU. I don't understand how Arkansas didn't become ranked after last week. I feel that they deserve to be ranked after beating Tennessee, but I guess not. And I don't know, LSU, they're good, but I don't know. I can see Arkansas sneaking that one off on them. It just depends. I like their wide receiver, though. Number 2, I forgot his name, but he a menace.
Andrew Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he a menace.
So what do you got? We have okay, good, keep going.
Just trying to see if there was any other games. You had mentioned the Colorado Arizona now. Hopefully Travis Hunter plays, because if he don't, like McMillan's going to have about 150 yards. Easy.
Yeah.
So
only 150. I think he could get 200.
yeah, like they better hope Travis Hunter can play that game. This is going to be a long night if not. But
so we've been missing you for the last couple of weeks. Who you got as your Heisman right now, man? What's your Heisman race thoughts?
like I said, if Colorado can get to 9 wins, I would say him. But right now,
they're not getting a 9. The hope for them should be 6. I think we talked about that last week. We could do it a little bit right here. I think it's lost in all the Dion shit, all the Dion stuff. But bro, going from 1-11 and being one of the worst programs of the last decade to a 6-win team in 2 years that would be, people would be putting historic praise on this fucking coach if it was not, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't with all the hype with Dion, and not just that, but they did it mostly through the portal, which is another thing that's kind of proof of concept of this new way of doing things in college football. Both things are on the line. 6 should be the goal. They ain't getting to no fucking 9. But
so outside of
I think it's surprising that the if they go to 6, going from 1-11 to 6 wins is kind of flying under the radar.
Yeah, like great improvement in 2 years for sure. Like that's what you want. So that's why his job ain't in jeopardy. I just want to see what it looks like when Shador is out of there, and we'll find out what's really good. But Genty from Boise State, he's my front runner. What he's doing in limited touches, like 10 yards a carry, just the impact. He's the next great running back in the NFL. Like I won't be surprised if he gets drafted high in the NFL draft. Ain't gonna be too many more, but like he looked different out there. If Miami gets 2 losses or less, I would say Cam Ward is in the mix. Feel like I'm forgetting some guys. So I know Jeremiah Smith is nice. I know Ryan Williams is nice. I don't think they got the Heisman numbers per se. I don't know if I'm missing too many guys, but those are the standouts so far.
I'll be interested to see if because Dylan Gabriel has like near 80% completion percentage. Team's doing good, winning big games.
Yeah. If he finished close undefeated, I got you. I see it.
He'd probably get invited. I don't think that there's anybody even. I don't think it's even a conversation right now, unless there's an injury or something happens. It's Ashton Genty, and that's it. You're talking about limited touches. He got limited touches because they're beating the fucking shit out of teams. So I also think it would be interesting to invite the if things keep going, if they go undefeated, they should invite the Army quarterback up there. That'd be fucking cool. Get him up there in his dress blues.
That's who I was going to say.
Team. Yeah. Go for it.
Him and Blake Horvath, the Navy quarterback, too.
Yeah. I like it.
What they're doing is amazing, like straight up. Shout out to them.
Tay, what do you think, man? Heisman right now.
I think it's I would give it to Genty. The fact that he's about to break he's on pace to break records and stuff like that. I get Travis Hunter playing both sides is impressive. He's definitely my number 2. But I would give it to Genty. We just haven't seen the domination at this position in years. So yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it's Genty by a gap right now. Like I don't think number 2 is relatively close, and especially Boise State. They're about to be in the playoff too. So yeah, that definitely helps them out. I would give it to Genty like 100%.
Quick question, T. Like, I don't mean to go off topic. Do you remember when Boise State like really good in the 2000s? Like, were you watching?
Yeah, when they were
we talked about this last week. We talked about this last week.
Never beat them. Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
that's when I started remembering.
Garrett Blount was out there punching people.
Oregon. They used to play Oregon every year, and Oregon couldn't beat them. I remember that.
Yeah, they beat Oklahoma. So like, they got some NFL talent on the low. They put out a couple pros.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah, Boise State, they're not regular. Nah.
Bryson Daly is the quarterback for Army. We talked about that last week. accents, cool your hair, because you were, just same age as me, same age as True, really like looped into that era. I was talking about how it's awesome how Boise State kind of started the ball rolling to where we are now as far as the 12 teams, because Boise State was always that team that got left out. They would show up, they'd give great games to these big teams. And then, that provided the pressure to move to 4. And once you got to 4, it was only a matter of time until we started expanding. And now it's ironic that it looks like there's a very good chance that Boise State is going to snag one of these at-large bids and make the fucking playoff.
That's a great point. They pretty much did start like the mid-major, having everybody take notice of the mid-majors. That's probably the best way to put it. It was them and like low-key, not as good as them, but like USF, I think, played a part.
Yes.
People being like, yo, what's going on with these smaller schools?
Utah.
Yeah, was one of them as well.
So I can't forget them. Yeah. So Utah, Boise State, and then USF on a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really started the ball rolling to get us into the era that we are in today.
Parody. So much parody now.
The other era we're in right now is in the era of DAR sports media. We got the damn football show that came out earlier on this week, covering all of the big trades that happened this week. Things changing all over the league. Tay's Jets are still fighting to keep their heads above water. The Ravens with a good, impressive victory this last weekend. We discussed that thoroughly on there. Me and True put out a Weekend Wrestling earlier on this week discussing AEW's new media deal. It's good stuff. And also, True and our other contributor, Apollo, have their dual album that's out right now. It's on, I didn't know this until he mentioned it, and then I was like, oh shit. It's on YouTube Music for any of you who use YouTube Music as your primary streaming platform. It's on there along with all of other True's rap stuff. That's what I use. And so now that I know, hey, I'm in there. So definitely check that out. True and Apollo, their newest duo album, and also True's prelude album that he put out in September to the next big release that he's doing in November. It's all on there. YouTube Music. Go check it out. Be on the lookout. Probably next week, we're going to bring back the NBA pod, throwing it down. Some NBA action for you guys. Big panels, lots of stuff to break down. An interesting season coming up for sure. Axe, what do you guys got going on over there on the hoop panel?
Well, we got a Western Conference and Eastern Conference show that we just did. We have a series called Bridging the Gap, where we cover all generations of the NBA and WNBA, voiceovers covering the accolades and the stats of each players. We're going to have a post-game show with the NBA as well. And we have other shows that we got circulating under the Hoop Panel Productions, covering music, movie reviews, like things of that nature. And it's just a good time, man. So if you're looking for like lighthearted, positive coverage, Hoop Panel Productions, we got a lot of things coming. Follow us on all social media platforms, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Going to start adding more stuff to Apple Podcasts and Spotify, things of that nature. But got a lot of things coming. Still affiliated with DAR. Always going to be on both sides. So, like, you'll see me around.
Hell yeah. Well, check out all of that fine stuff. Of course, we got the Medium site as well. The Medium site is just crushing it. The fucking numbers right now. We're beating combined records at this point. Our man Poetic Scotland with a great article on NXT star Jada Parker that has gotten a lot of buzz this week. So if that is your bag, go check that out ASAP. From the writing, from the affiliations, to the music, to all the sports coverage, it is more and more clear every day that the fucking world of DAR never stops.